Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, whiskey drinkers of all ages, no matter where you reside on the planet Earth. This is the Mad Mix whiskey review number 102. I wasn't going to make this video. I bought this bottle today, as I always do, looking to make a video. And I'm making this video on September 10th, 2025, in case somebody's watching it in the future and doesn't understand the context. Well, there was a political assassination today in America. And the sad part was it wasn't even a politician. And I'm just speaking from the heart. It reminds me of maybe a week ago, Kathleen and I were talking. My long-suffering girlfriend, Kathleen, who puts up with me through thick and thin, just like I put up with her through thick and thin. We love each other, and that's what you do. And we were saying to each other, I've lived through the Reagan assassination. I've lived through, obviously, the more recent Trump assassination attempts, multiple attempts. We've seen all kinds of political violence. And I'm not into politics. I've never been a member of a political party. I don't affiliate with any political party. My political belief is I will vote for whatever politician leaves me alone the most. But Kathleen and I were talking, and we were thinking about these things. We're both 55 years old. We've seen a lot of stuff in our life. And we're like, there's been a lot of politicians, a lot of human beings in the past, in the present, who we don't necessarily agree with, who we don't really like what they have to say. But never in my entire life have I thought to myself, this person needs to be murdered. Maybe it would be different if Adolf Hitler was in front of me, or Stalin, or Mao, or, Karl Marx. Someone who is a detriment to humanity on a mass murdering scale. And I'm not sure I recognize the world we live in today. And I don't say that easily. It's kind of heartbreaking. You know what I mean? Today, a young man, his name, obviously it's Charlie Kirk I'm talking about. This is a 31-year-old man. Obviously, I'm a 55-year-old man. I'm not like from Charlie Kirk's age bracket. I've seen him before. I know who he is. I'm not a supporter or a follower of Charlie Kirk or anyone else on the planet. I'm not a follower of Donald Trump. I'm not a follower of Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. I don't follow politics and political people and politicians. It's not my bag. But to see a young 31-year-old man with two young babies get murdered on camera because he wants to speak freely. This is America. This is fucking America. I have to listen to all kinds of bullshit that I don't want to hear all day long from all kinds of people. And they are perfectly entitled to say and do what they want. I'm an adherent to the live and let live philosophy of life. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I say. And the same is true. I don't have to like anybody. I don't have to like what I say. But here in America, we don't murder people because of what they say. We have a right to speak our minds. I don't care if you're a Nazi or a commie. You have a right to say what you want, and I have a right to not listen to it. But oh no. Apparently we're living in an age where if someone says something you don't want to hear, they think they're perfectly well within their right to murder you, to exterminate your life. Well, if that ain't some Nazi commie bullshit, I don't know what the fuck is. And I'm sorry, I know it's supposed to be a whiskey review, but this was something I can't let go. This is a sad day. I don't recognize America anymore. We've reached a point where you cannot live and let live anymore, because they might just kill you for having an opinion. Where there is an entire sect of society, an entire area of society who believes they're perfectly well within their right to fucking kill you if they don't like what you say or do. This is beyond the pale. It's beyond my human comprehension. Maybe they need a scotch. Maybe they need a nice glass of scotch to calm the fuck down. This fucking young man, I don't know a ton about him. I know he's got some babies. I know he's got a wife. He's 31 years old. What are we doing in this country? What are we doing? The land that was founded on opportunity, freedom, the right to build a better life for yourself if you're capable of doing it, has now become the land of death and destruction and political violence and upheaval. I don't know where it ends. And you know what? You know what it also made me think about? It made me think about how I close out my videos, and I always say to you guys, whoever's watching, love yourself. Always love and respect yourself. And when I say that, that doesn't mean that you fucking hate and disrespect other people. When you love and respect yourself, that means you find it in your heart to love and respect other people, even if you disagree with them, even if you don't like them. And you certainly don't hurt and murder people just because they have a different opinion than you. This is becoming some sick stuff, and it breaks my heart. It makes me worry for what my children, my future potential grandchildren will have to live through in this fucking place. This country is becoming a cesspit of violence. And I wish it wouldn't be that way. I really, like I said, it really hit me and then today it hit me about what me and Kathleen were talking about, I mean to say. I have seen politicians who I can't stand, who everything that comes out of their mouth is an offense to me. It makes me want to vomit sometimes. Both in the past and in the present. There are politicians and people in public and people who have a voice. Stuff that comes out of their mouth genuinely offends me and makes me angry. I have never, for 1 second of my entire life, thought about using violence and murder because I was slightly offended or majorly offended. I hope this country gets back on track. I hope this country gets a nice bottle of scotch. I hope I made my point, and I hope I didn't make anyone angry or turn anyone off. I really don't know what's going on anymore, people. With that being said, here's the Mad Mix whiskey review number 102. The Glenrothes Whiskey Maker's Cut. It gets no age statement, but it does get a nice fat 48.8. So that would be what? 97.6. You guys are going to have to do the math. I think I got it right. I think it's 97.6 proof. Supposedly this is done in matured only in first fill sherry seasoned oak casks. Bottled at natural color, doesn't say anything about filtering, at the strength selected by a master whiskey maker. I think I've had a bottle of Glenrothes, either 10 or 12. I've never seen anything on the distillery. I've never watched a video on the distillery. But as you can see, I mean, that's for a non-age stated. It's obviously been in sherry casks. It looks good. Let's find out what it smells like. Oh yeah, it smells like it's got some oomph to it. You're getting that deep fruit, like plums and deep. But for that color, for a non-age stated, non-colored, it tells you right on the thing. All natural, bottled at natural color. There it is. This has got some oomph to it. Yeah, you're just getting deep fruit. There might be a hint of malt on there, and it smells strong. It smells like it's heading on 100 proof. But it's got that nice, there might even be like notes of chocolate. I don't even usually say stuff like that, but this is so deep and kind of, like chocolate has a certain scent to it, like especially dark chocolate. It has like a hint of bitterness, a dark scent to it. Like if you've ever, I'm not a big fan of dark chocolate, but I've had it. And this kind of has that some hints of dark chocolate in the background. Plenty of deep fruit. Oh yeah, this is a potent glass. Let me get a sip down. We're not here to sniff it, people. We're here to drink it. Oh, it's got some oomph to it. All right, I'm getting a tad more malt on the palate. I'm getting plenty of sherry. My God, I don't know how long they put it in these sherry season casks, but this might be bordering on a sherry bomb. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, it's got some oak to it, maybe a little bit of oak. Yeah, almost like a chocolate or a cocoa. And plenty of fruit. And in between, you can catch hints of the malt. I've really got to go watch a video on this distillery. I'm surprised I haven't watched it yet. Like I said, I had a 10 or a 12-year-old by then, and it was age stated. But this one just says and this one was. Hold on, let me put my glass down. I should have had it on the other side. This was a $71 bottle, out the door, no tax. One more sip and we're gonna get out of this one. It's been a long, rough couple of days working. Never mind what's in the news, just working. We're getting ready for vacation, going to Maine again next week to enjoy a few days of vacation. Both of us have earned it. We've been working like animals, and now we get a few days off. Let me get one more sip on this one. Oh yeah, that noses. Yeah, this is like the first time I can honestly say I smelled chocolate on a liquor. It's like strong too. I usually don't get that kind of note, even if it says, oh, hints of chocolate. No, this ain't hints of chocolate. It smells like somebody threw a candy bar down this thing. Oh yeah, that's good. It's such a nice nose. Deep, deep, and powerful. Yeah, this thing is all about depth and complexity. I'm not saying the scotch is for everyone, but if you like sherry finished or sherry aged whiskeys, woo, this has got to be at the top of the list for me. I've never really tasted anything this deep and rich, from the fruit flavors to the chocolate that's in it. It's berry in the malt, although you can still get a hint of it. I'm getting not even much spice on the back end. No, the palate that you get, that kind of fruity, chocolatey palate, is burying any spice on the back end. But then again, they weren't bourbon casks. Those bourbon casks will give you that spice. Yeah, I like this one. All right. The Mad Mix whiskey review. I keep wanting to say cheap or not cheap. The Mad Mix whiskey review number 102. Glenrothes Whiskey Maker's Cut, coming in at 48.8%. Nice stiff proof. I like the proof point on this. I'm going to give this one a 9. Now, I know the last one I bumped up probably with that Ben Romick 15. I think I gave it a 9.5. But it is a very good whiskey. I was just kind of fucking around a little bit, being drunk on my 100th review. But this one, I'm gonna give this a solid 8.99. I think if you like a sherry bomb, you're gonna like this one. Although this is a sherry hand grenade. You pull a pin on this one, it's got an explosion of stuff going on. I wish they had an age statement, but that's not necessarily the most important thing in whiskey. You can get a shitty 15-year-old, and you can get a good 4 or 5-year-old. So, also speaking of which, I'll give you an update. I found that my 4.5-year-old whiskey, I shouldn't get ahead of myself, but I'm probably going to leave it in until March just to get the 5-year age statement. And I found that it's much better with an ice cube in it. Don't let the ice cube melt the whole way, but once it gets proofed down a little bit, I noticed it beat back a lot of that harsher 106 proof bite to it, and brought it kind of rounded it out a little bit. So not only am I going to let it sit until March and have a 5-year age statement, but I'm also probably going to proof it back a little bit more because it seems a little more pleasant, maybe around the 90-ish proof point. So, with that being said, without being political, without even caring about politics particularly, here's a glass to Charlie Kirk. I don't know if he drank. I don't think he did. He looked pretty straight-laced. Here's a glass to him. And before I go to bed tonight, I'll say a prayer for his wife and his children. I hope America gets its shit together pretty quick. I'd hate to see where it can go if this keeps going this way. I pray to Jesus. I pray to Jesus that things don't keep going the way they're going. It's a goddamn shame what happens in this world. With that being said, I've got a new one. Love and respect yourself. Always love and respect yourself. But at the same time, don't use that as an excuse to hate and disrespect other people. That's not what life's all about. I firmly believe you should love and respect yourself because I believe that you are the only person when push comes to shove, when everything else fails, you are the only person who is in control of yourself, who is capable of truly loving and respecting yourself. Only you can disrespect yourself. But at the same time, that does not mean that you hate and disrespect other people. You love and respect your family and friends. And you try to tolerate other people. If you can't tolerate other people, then you just stay away from them. You don't take out your anger on other people. That's not the way we go through this life, I hope. With that being said, I hope I don't lose any subscribers for that rant. I love you guys. Think about yourself. Think about your family and friends and your loved ones. Think about the people on the planet that are suffering. And try and make a change for the better and not the worse. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.